Unit number 4 consists of two chapters. It consists of first chapter is on interview skills, in which we are going to study about what is the actual purpose of the interview, and then we are going to study about the do's and don'ts when you are giving an interview. Then the next chapter is based on presentation, in which we are going to talk about presentation. We are going to see how you can deal with the fears while you have to that you have when you are giving the presentation, how you are going to plan your presentation, how you are going to structure your presentation, and how you are going to deliver the delivery techniques of your presentation. That's what we are going to study in this unit, that is interview skill and presentation, giving presentation. These are the two chapters under unit number 4. Let us begin with our first chapter, that is interviewing, okay, or interview skills. Now let us first see what is interviewing. It is whenever we talk about interview is a communication. It is a communication that happens between our employer and our employee. Okay, so this is a communication that is a two-way communication. The employer wants to seek some knowledge from the employee, so he's going to pose some question. He's going to ask some questions to him, to which the interviewer is going to reply. Okay, or the potential employee, I can say, the potential employee is going to answer. Okay. In the similar manner, if the employee, the potential employee, the one who is going to get employed, has some questions in his mind, has some doubts in his mind, what are those we are going to see further. If he has some doubts in his mind, he is going to ask some questions in return to the employer, and then they are going to have a discussion, they are going to have a communication, and finally through this communication the employer is going to gauge whether the person that I'm selecting is right or wrong. Okay, so that is about the interview. So it is a structured communication. It is a communication, but it is in a structured form. So it is not a random kind of a communication. The employer actually knows what kind of question he has to place, what kind of information he has to gain from the potential employee, from the person that is interviewing. Okay, so it is a very structured kind of a communication. And it is a communication between a potential employer and a potential employee. The mistake that I have done over is written as employer. It should be employee. So it is a structured communication between a potential employer and potential employee. Okay. So as we say that we always say that communication is a skill. Okay, and any skill can be made perfect if you practice it. Cricket is a skill, playing football is a skill. Okay, then writing is a skill. It is a form of communication. So in the similar manner, and interviewing, drawing is a skill. In the similar manner, interview is also a skill, whereby if you practice more in giving the interview, then you are going to be a perfect person in giving an interview also. Okay. So this is about the interview. Now let us go about seeing what is the objective of an interview. Now, interview is a very effective tool for selection, right? If an employer wants to select an employee, then interview becomes a very effective tool. There are many other tools by which the selection can be done, but interview becomes the most core important part of a selection. Even though you have group discussion, even though you have your giving tests, etc., isn't it, the writing, MCQs, nowadays they take the written test also. But all said and done, there are many other ways of selecting a candidate, but interview becomes still becomes a very effective tool for selection. No candidate is being selected unless and until he gives an interview. That you very well know. If you see an interview, it is a two-way communication, which I told you earlier. So gaining of information by both, gaining of information by the employer, as I told you, he needs to select the person, so he needs whether he's the right kind of a person or not. So it is a two-way communication. So both the employer also understands about the employee, and the employee, he also understands about the employer, whether this person, whatever job he is offering me, suits me or not. That also is being understood by the employee. Okay. So what does an recruitment learn? He learns about the applicant. Okay, and the employee he knows about the employer. Right. Now this is basically the main objective. Finally, is what is the main objective in taking an interview? In order to select the right and perfect candidate for a particular job. Selecting a right person at a right place at a right time. Okay, is the success of any organization lies in that. Okay, the human resource department is a very important department, and a human resource, there are five resources. Okay, so the five resources are man, money, material, methods, machine. So the first resource that we said, man. Okay, this man as a resource is the most important resource. Right? Money can be procured from bank, machines can be brought, isn't it? If you have money, then methods can be procured, methods can be developed, right? Material can be brought if you have money. So these all are inhuman things, right? But a human resource is the most important resource. सबके पास वही मशीन्स होती है, सबके पास वही मटेरियल होता है, सबके पास वही मेथड्स होते हैं, राइट? But what the money is common, which is coming from the bank. But what differs from company to company is the human resource. The teachers which MITWP is having is not there with other colleges. They also have the buildings. They also have the what to call that. They also have the labs. They also have the machines for that matter, the equipments for that matter, isn't it? They also have the syllabus. They also have the books. They also have the libraries. But how different is MITWP from other colleges? Definitely, the standard, the quality of the campus, etc., is definitely different. But the most important difference that is there is the human resource. And in order to select a right human resource, in order to select a right candidate, what you require is you require to take the interview of the person and to identify that person. Okay. And in order to select the right candidate, what helps you? The interview is going to help you. So the main objective of the interview is to select a very right candidate. Okay. Now let us go for the purpose of the interview. Now let us first see the employer's purpose. I feel so employer's purpose can be divided into three categories. Before I go to the three categories, you tell me what are the things, okay, that the employer, why does the employer take the interview? What is the reason for it? You can write down in the chat box. Let me see how many answers I get. What the employer wants to know. Okay. What is the purpose that the employer is taking the interview? One of the purpose I told you, to select the right candidate. Okay. That is the main and the final objective. What else does the employer seek from the interview? Be faster, be fast. Let me see how intelligent you all are. What is the purpose? Or supposing, just imagine that you want to hire, say, a boy or a driver at your house. Okay, you want to hire a driver for your car. So you are going to take the interview. So what is the purpose for you to take an interview? Just let me know that. Yes, we have the answer from Samruddhi. To know the employer has an ability to manage the work he or she has hired. Fantastic, Samruddhi. Very nice answer. How employee shows his or her skills. Fantastic. Fantastic, Saina. Then Shreya has written how employee can make your company in profit. Very nice. Very nice thought, Shreya. Yes, that is the main purpose. You want to earn profits. You open the organization to earn profits. To know if his basics are clear, right? He has the qualification, but does he really have the knowledge? There is a vast difference between qualification and knowledge. Rohit, I fully agree with you. Anything else? Only these many things. अगर आपको ड्राइवर हायर करना है तो आप क्या देखोगे उसके अंदर? इंटरव्यू क्यों लोगे उसका? We are also going to talk about the purpose of the employee also. Only 4 people are there who can answer. Others can't think also. 5 people have thought about. Others are not present or others don't want to answer. Come on, think. Let me give you the first hint. Okay. Can you do the work? Okay. So employer wants to see whether the employee is able to do the work, whether the person is loyal, fantastic, whether he obeys the rules and regulations. Driving छोड़ दो लेकिन rules and regulations, fantastic. Is he capable of taking and doing that responsibility? Wow, very nice. See how much you can think. All this I have mentioned over here. आपने जो भी आप बताया हुआ है सभी यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है. When it comes to the answer. Anything else? Chat box. If somebody is not able to type, does he have the ability and capability to work? Very nice. Is he capable of taking the risk? Very good. Very good. Go on writing. I am loving your answers. His dedication towards work. क्या बात है? Very nice. Dedication toward the work and dedication towards the employer, dedication towards the organization, everything is included in this. Very nice. So let us see what the textbook says. Interview gives an opportunity, okay, to know about the applicant. First of all, what is his background, what are his parents doing, where he stays, okay, where is his native place, okay, so on and so forth. So it gives the opportunity for the employer to understand about the applicant. Okay, it basically verifies the quality and accuracy of the information, because you have written in your form that you are 12th pass, you have got this many percentages, 10 pass, you have got this many percentages, and these are your percentages, and everything you have written in your B Pharm, etc. You have written everything. So basically he verifies the accuracy of the information that you have given. Okay, and he also verifies the quality, okay, of your qualifications. In the sense, he will take various tests, okay, and then he'll see whether you have that quality and whether the information that you have given is accurate or not. That also is trying to judge. He will see. Somebody talked about skill, very rightly said that he is going to see whether you possess the skill, okay, with your education. You may be having the qualification, लेकिन जितना आपका qualification उतने ही आपके skill है या नहीं, that is going to see. क्या सिर्फ आप पास हो गए, कॉपी करके पास हो गए, or you have just mugged up the things and you have written the answers. Somebody was talking about the basics. Are your basics clear or not? Isn't it? So you should possess the skill. For example, you are going to study further, you are going to study industrial pharmacy, you are going to study the equipments on quality control. So whether you are really able to handle this equipment or not, okay, or just you have mugged up the things and you have written the answers, that is going to see. Or if you are experienced, a person who is experienced, who is shifting a job from one company to other company, so if you have worked in particular department, so do you have an expertise, okay, over the things that you have done in that department, right? Do you have the expertise which is going to make you stand out from the other people? Because all are going to be having the same qualification, isn't it? So if all are having the same qualification, then are you the person who is having the expertise, who is going to make you stand out from the other people in the lot? That is going to check. He's further going to check whether you are able to learn and adapt in this new organization, whether you are going to learn new things and whether you are going to adapt to the new things. Because maybe the machine that is used over there is different in the other company, or the machine that you have used in the college is going to be different. The machine that you are going to, the machine or the equipment that you are going to use in the company is going to be different. So whether you are going to be able to learn those machines fast and whether you are going to adapt to that situation, given situation, that he is going to check. That is what the employer is going to check. That is what the interviewer is going to check. Okay. He also tries to obtain additional information that is from the candidate, which is required for the job. For example, if it is a marketing job, then he is going to identify whether you have that required communication skill, whether you have that persuasive power, whether you have those selling skills or not. These all things are required for you can say marketing. If it's a research job, then he's going to check whether you have that analytical skill, whether you have that research acumen, whether you have worked on some projects or not. Okay, whether you have that basic knowledge in order to perform the research work or not. That all things he is going to study from this. Okay, so he is going to gather the additional information that the candidate is requiring from the job. The next thing that he is going to study is will you do the work? You have that qualification, you have that acumen, you have that skills, but are you able to do that work, or are you lazy like this person who is sleeping over here, right? Doesn't want to do the work. Are you of that? He's going to check that. So based upon, and when you're not going to work, why somebody does not work? Somebody does not work because the work he doesn't find interest in that. If you are interested in some work, you do the work. If somebody is really interested in studies, he is going to study like anything. आप उसको नहीं भी बोलो तो भी वो पढ़ाई करेगा क्योंकि उसको पढ़ाई अच्छी लगती है. Whereas somebody who doesn't like studying is not going to study because it doesn't like to study. So if you consider study as a work, who studies or who reads books, who reads textbooks, who listens to the lectures? The one who is interested in it, one who gets motivated to do that. Okay, he does that. So they are going to check what are your interests. If you are not interested in selling, okay, selling as a job, if you don't like selling as a job, then what is going to happen? You won't be interested to work. So that depends upon what are your goals. So depending, he is going to check whether the interest, your interest and goals, okay, matches with the interest and goals of other organizations. Somebody talked about, I think so, Sayana talked about, where she talked about dedication, isn't it? Dedication towards the work. So he is going to see whether you are dedicated for the work, whether you are dedicated for the company, or you're just taking this company, okay, I have to work for a few years over here. Once I get the experience, I'm going to go to the other company. So he's going to check that. Okay. Whether you're honest about your future goals and plan, you must have written, you first have to decide whenever you go for an interview, you have to decide upon your future goals, you have to decide upon your future plan, because that is the question invariably the person is going to ask you, right? Because he is going to see whether your future goals and match आपके future goals and your plans, whether that is matching with the work that has been offered to you, right? If your future goal is to travel abroad, and if the company that you are applying does not have the what do you call that, the operations abroad, then it is not matching with your future goals and plans. Okay, so he's going to check whether first of all, are you honest about your future goals and plan, and whether that matches with the job that you're taking. He's further going to check, are you motivated and eager to learn new things. Okay, if you are not motivated, if you are not eager to learn, and when are you not motivated, when are you not eager to learn? When the job is of not your choice. आपको मार्केटिंग जाना है, रिसर्च का जॉब है. आपको सेल्स में जाना है, योर जॉब इज ऑफ समथिंग क्वालिटी कंट्रोल. You want to go to quality control, job is of research. You want to go to research, your job is of marketing. If this is happening and you are just taking the job just to take, okay, because you're not going to getting some other job, then what is going to happen? You are not going to be happy in what you're doing. And if you're not happy, you won't be eager, you won't be motivated to learn the things. The third thing that the employer checks is whether you are the right fit in that organization. As I said, right person at right time and at right place. So this is the slot which is vacant. Whether you exactly fit in the slot or not is also important for the employer to understand. Okay. So whether these are your co-workers which are surrounding you, so whether you are right fit in them, अगर आप right fit नहीं है, so what you will do is you are going to join them, and you are going to spoil the whole environment in between the co-workers. Okay. Or it may be possible, if you are not right fit, then the co-workers where you are joining, they won't accept, they won't absorb you. So it is very important for the employers to see whether you are going to be a good fit with your co-workers. Okay. They also have to see whether the values and whatever the ethos are there of the organization. Okay. And you are in line with those companies culture and mission. Somebody talked about policies, somebody talked about the what do you call that, the ethics, isn't it? So your policies, whether you're going to follow those policies or not in the organization. So organization has its own culture, organization has its own values, organization has its own mission, organization has its own what do you call that, policies, right? So whether you're fitting in those policies or not, that they are going to check. They are going to check whether you're going to work well with the other people, whether will be a team person or not is very important for them to see. If you are not going to be the team person, then it is not useful for them to select you. They are also going to see how you are going to respond to the supervisor and his criticism. Many a time they are going to criticize you during the interview. Okay. And they are going to see when they criticize you, how is your reaction, whether you take those criticism positively, or whether you react very sharply to those criticism, that they are going to see. Okay. So that is how that is what they are going to see, whether criticism kya hota hai. They make you learn. They tell you, here you have gone wrong and this is the way, this is the right way of doing it. So whether you are able to learn, whether you are taking the criticism positively, whether you are improving yourself or not, that they are going to check. Okay. So interview is for that also. They are going to see whether you have the skill to balance where the team currently is weak. Supposing team is weak in one of the aspects, whether after you joining them, the weak aspect is going to strengthen or not. If you are also weak in that aspect only, where the others are weak, then there is no you joining. They won't select you. They'll select the other person who is strong in that in that category. Got it? And finally, they are going to see, as I said, finally they are going to see whether the co-workers are going to like you or not, whether you are going to be whether you are going to gel with them or not. So these are some of the aspects. Many others, many of you are given very nice answers. So in the similar manner, further, before after revising this, okay, I am going to ask you, what are the things that the employee is going to ask the employer? अगर आप इंटरव्यू को जाते हैं तो आप क्या क्या क्वेश्चन उनसे पूछोगे, क्या क्या चीजें आपको जान लेनी है उनसे? What are things that you are going to find out about the organization from the employee? Okay, that you have to tell me. But in the meanwhile, I will revise this for you. Okay, whatever you have done. So what are the things, what is the purpose that the employer, what is the purpose of the employer taking an interview? He wants to know about the applicant. He wants to verify the qualification, accuracy of the information. He wants to check whether you possesses the proper skill. Okay, that is shown in your experience and education. Utne skills aapke paas hai ki nahi. Whether you have that expertise. Okay, whether you'll be able to adapt and learn. Whether he will try to find out the other information that is required for the job. Then he is going to see what are their interests, what are and goals. Okay, whether you are considering this company as a stepping stone or you are going to remain loyal with this company. He is going to see whether you are honest about your goals and plans. He is going to see whether you are motivated and eager to learn. He is going to see whether you are going to fit with the co-workers. Your values are in line with the company's values, cultures, and mission. Whether you are going to work well with the others. how you are going to respond to the criticism given by the superiors, and whether your skill sets balance the team so that to make the key team strong enough. Okay, and finally, will the co-workers like you or not once you are selected in an organization? So these are some of the things that the employer is going to see. Now, let us see from the candidate's perspective. If if you go for the interview, what you are going to see? Okay, can somebody tell me? Chat box is open for you. Please let me know. What are the things that you will look for?
So can you
So
please connection issue at my
like
place?
Yeah, I am telling you, like employer in an interview, he wants to find out something from the employee, from the candidate. In a similar manner, I also said in the beginning that the interview is a two-way process. In the similar manner, employee, that is a candidate, he also wants something from the, he wants to also get something from the employer. So what is the information that is looking forward from the employer? What he wants from the employer? What he's going to, is if the employer is approachable. Can you tell me approachable मतलब क्या? Anything else approachable? Further, any other? Bus. Only you're going to find whether the employee is approachable. Anything else? Whether he will value the work of the employee. Wow, fantastic. Very nice. Whatever the work you are doing, whether you are going to get the proper value. The value may be in the form of money, the value may be in the form of appreciation, the value may be in the form of bonuses, the value may be in the form of gifts or anything. Fantastic. Okay, right. Whether his work is going to be valued or not. Anything else? Whether the employee will adjust with his or team. Okay. Anything else? Employees respect treated well. Yes. Whether he's going to be treated well, whether he's going to be respected by the employer, that is what the candidate is going to see. Fantastic. Whether he'll be able to learn new things. Very nice. Whether the employer gives importance to the skill or degree or education. Fantastic. He's going to try to find out whether I require that skill is important in the job, or my degree or education is important in the job. And if the skills are required, specific skills are required for this job, then whether I'll be able to fulfill those skills. Profit and loss also matters in company. Okay, definitely it matters, no doubt about it. So profit and loss matters. So employee is going to see whether the company is a profitable company, and whether I'm going to get nice profit in the terms of salary from it. If it is a profitable company, then definitely good salary will be there. If it is a loss making company, then the salary is going to be less. So yes, he's going to check that. Fantastic. Okay. Yes, let us see what the textbook says. Okay. First, which was rightly said, showcase your skills and abilities to show that you can do the work. Whether you are going to get that opportunity to showcase your skills and abilities that are with you. So you have a lot of skills, you have a lot of abilities, and you want to showcase that abilities. So he wants to showcase that abilities in the interview only. is trying to show that he is having that abilities, and is going to further check whether I will be able to showcase my abilities in the organization. या फिर वो जॉब ऐसा है कि जहां पे मुझे कुछ करना ही नहीं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, यू आर हैविंग अ वेरी गुड सेलिंग स्किल्स, बट द जॉब इज ऑफ क्वालिटी कंट्रोल, तो वहां पे आपको वो शोकेस करने को मिलेगा ही नहीं वो स्किल्स और एबिलिटीज, राइट? You are further going to check whether you have some goals. As I told you earlier, you have to decide at this stage of your career, okay, or maybe by your final year, you have to decide upon your interests, you have to decide upon your goals, okay, and then you are going to check whether this job, whatever particular job I have applied, particular interview or interview I have applied for, whether my goals are getting satisfied by doing this job or not. Okay, he's going to check whether the work in offer, what does it look like, isn't it? मुझे क्या काम करना है? If the what do you call that, the advertisement doesn't make it clear that what job you actually have to do, then you ask for whether what is the job like. Okay, so what actually I have to do, these things, if it is not clear in that case. If it is, basically the employer makes it clear at the beginning only. So when you go for the interview, he is going to make clear all the things that I have written over here. But if he has not made it clear, then definitely it is a two-way communication process. After he finishes asking the question, you can definitely ask a few questions from your side. Okay, then you want to know about the position. Okay, in what learn about the position and about the job, the company culture, whether you are going to be like, he is going to see whether your culture matches with the company culture. In the similar manner, you are also going to see whether my culture and the company culture are matching or not. There are some cultures which are hire and fire kind of a culture. There are some companies who believe in scolding and firing and shouting, whereas you don't have that kind of culture because you are a calm and cool man. Whereas some of the companies, they believe in calm and coolness. They don't believe in firing people. Okay. Whereas your culture is something different. You don't like, if you don't like the people, you remove the people. Okay. So you are going to see whether my culture and the company culture is matching or not. Okay. Whether it is in terms of skills, in terms of values, in terms of interest, in terms of goals, you are going to check that. The most important thing that you are going to check is about the work schedule. For example, whether I have to work in shifts. If I have to work in shifts, what are the shift timings? Right? Do I have to do overtime or not? Does my job involve traveling? If I want to do traveling, then it will be pan India, pan Maharashtra, or there will be 2-3 states that I have to travel, or whether I have to travel outside also. That you are going to see. Do you have to sit in the evening, late in the evening, okay, to complete your work? Do you need, whether the job is available in your hometown, or you need to relocate, okay, today or maybe tomorrow afterwards, okay? Are there any chances of going abroad? As I told you, if you want to go abroad, you are going to check whether there are chances of going abroad or not. If you don't want to go, there also you are going to check कि मुझे जाना नहीं है, अगर मुझे बोलेंगे तो I have to leave the job, so better I don't take the job. Okay, then you are going to discuss about, as somebody talked about, the salary, DA, that is daily allowance, the perks that you are going to get, the traveling allowance, the bonuses, the promotion. Okay, that is the main important thing that the candidate wants to know in an interview. Okay, if anything is not been mentioned, if it has been mentioned earlier in the advertisement or during our campus placements, so this is about the purpose of the interview. Okay, we have studied both the purposes. We have studied the candidate's purpose, and we have also studied the employer's purpose. Okay, so this is the purpose of the interview, and we have also studied about the objective, and you have also studied about the interview. What is interview?